introduce themselves, and they'll have a short presentation for you.
Thank you everyone who's going to come up to speak and who's here attending with listening. And my name is Uriah Rai. I'm 18 years old. I'm the chairwoman of the Suquamish Youth Council. And some of the people who aren't here tonight is Sequoia Shargaloff, our vice chairman, Luke McLeod is our representative, and Raven Roberts, our secretary. My grandparents are Manuel and Jerry Purcell. My mom and dad are Wendy and Jim Beret. I'm going to talk about what wellness means to me. Wellness to me, hang on, excuse me, sorry. Wellness to me means a healthy body, mind, and spirit. What I would like to see for the community and my family is respect. Respect for their bodies, mind, and spirit. This means no drugs or alcohol in their systems. I want to see them putting their focus into positives in their lives. Whether that be working out, sports, reading, dancing, or singing, just being culturally involved. I want to see the community lose themselves in a positive, healthy passion, influencing those around you to do the same. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Haley Crow. My mother is Carlene Crow. My grandmother is Wendell Holt, and my great-grandmother was Mabel Cordero. Thank you to everyone that is here to address wellness in our community. Thank you to everyone that has had the courage to come up and speak about their experiences. I am 14 years old, and I am the historian for Suquamish Youth Council. Through my research, I found that 40 to 60% of drug addicts will relapse, which is heartbreaking. That means that it is really hard to stop. What wellness means to me is that you and your family are healthy and taking care of one another. And if you have someone in the family that is a recovering or a recovered addict, you acknowledge how hard it is they have worked. Because wellness means everybody chooses to be healthy, which brings me to community health. Community health means everybody's actions affect everyone in the community. When they engage in healthy or risky behavior, it can have a positive or negative effect on the community. Whenever someone makes the choice to be healthy, take the time and let them know how proud of them you are, because that's what today is about, supporting wellness in our community, Suquamish.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Devin Crow. I'm 16 years old and also the treasurer of the Suquamish Youth Council. I'd first like to start by giving my thanks to all the brave people who shared their stories and took the time to come out, and all the people that took their time to come out here. Second, and why I'm talking to you right now, I would like to tell you how I feel about wellness in our community. So wellness means to me that our community and families are healthy, low-fat, and drug-free. With that, I would like to acknowledge those who struggle in recovering or still recovering, because no one knows what it's like unless you've been through the same thing. My good friend was addicted to marijuana and now has finished his treatment and is 6 months clean. Is doing a lot better with his life. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Caitlin Pratt. My mother is Rebecca Purser. My father is Daniel Pratt Sr. And my grandmother on my mom's side is Lisa Laguna Lewis. My grandmother on my dad's side is Aggie Pratt. And my great-grandmother is Mabel Cordero. I am 13 years old. I go to Kingston Middle School. I am Miss Chief Seattle Games 2014-2015, and I am also the female representative on the Suquamish Youth Council. I would like to thank everyone here for coming to this important event, and I would also like to thank the people who are brave enough to come up and talk about their experiences. So I would like to start off with what wellness means to me. Wellness means that you have a healthy life, healthy body, and a healthy spirit. Wellness is choosing a good lifestyle, like not doing drugs and not doing alcohol. Wellness in our community is important to me because it means that everybody in the community chooses to be healthy, and when everybody chooses to be healthy, our community is a happier and healthier place. And it kind of just is better that way.
All right, thank you. Let's give another round of applause. They did a great job. These are leaders of Taboni's tribe here.
Started fairly young, as I know a lot of the people my age did. I started smoking weed in between 5th and 6th grade, I believe. It was the summer between 5th and 6th grade. And weed was a staple for me. I'm not here to be some anti-marijuana advocate, because I really am not. I just know where it led me. Over the years, as I progressed and got older, I started finding alcohol to be a little more fun when I was around 15. I started drinking quite more often by the time I was 17, 18. And by the time I was going on 19, it was pretty evident it was a problem. I wasn't functioning in school anymore. I pretty much dropped out by that point. I wasn't I didn't have a job. I didn't have anything really. 3 days before my 19th birthday, I got my first DUI. Driving drunk home from a party. I was the designated driver, and crashed my truck. It was a pretty bad wreck. Still have some of the side effects of it today. And that was also my first run-in with the law. I managed to go quite a ways under the radar. I didn't meet Judge Cindy until I was well into my 20s, but we got to know each other really well though. So I'll say that much. I made up for it in adulthood. Yeah, things just kind of kept going that way for a while. I was a partier. I'm a people person. I always have been. I still am today, but the company I kept back then was very different. I like to have loud, drunk crowds pretty much at all times, especially as I got more into legal drinking age. I just really like to follow that road. And as I got more into my early to mid 20s, the alcohol started wearing off. The weed was always still kind of there, but the alcohol started not taking effect anymore. I started progressing into prescription meds, developed quite the Oxycontin habit. I got really hooked really fast, as a lot of you know. I mean, it's a huge problem in this town. Not so much anymore because everyone's kind of graduated to heroin, as I did. But the prescription pills were like a real gateway for me to get into the harder stuff. And right about that time is when I started really developing a criminal aspect to my life. I started stealing. I started robbing pretty much everybody I knew. But deep down, even though I knew it, I put on a pretty good front, I still came off, for the most part, a nice guy, had decent manners to your face. But would turn around and steal from you as soon as you had your back turned. I mean, that's just really where the drugs had got me. So in turn, I started seeing Judge Cindy quite often. I started going to court. Still, by 25 or by 24, I still had never been to an inpatient treatment. I managed to skate under all those consequences the majority of the time. But eventually, the courts and wellness stopped being able to turn a blind eye to it. I had a couple of counselors that really started holding me accountable, and I did not like it. I got sent to treatment for the first time when I was 24. And over the next 3 years, I went 5 times. And it wasn't until the last time, in October of 2009, that it finally stuck. And wellness kind of played more or less a facilitator for me. They kind of kept an eye on me, would, in a way, give me the help I needed, even though I didn't feel I needed it. And then they also had the hand of the court to kind of help force me to do it. But in 2009, I woke up one morning and I can't explain it, like I don't know what happened really. Nothing was different from that day to the day before. But I woke up and I knew I needed some help. It wasn't a court obligation, it wasn't a punishment, I was done. My soul was done. And the staff at Wellness was more than willing to pick up the phone for me. I called and talked to my counselor at the time and said, I need to go and I need to go away fairly quick before the court can catch up to me and throw me in jail. And I just need to get out of here. And Wellness had me in treatment within a week. They had me in inpatient, one of the best places I've ever been that I still visit. I still go, and I don't go there to visit patients. I go there to visit the counselors, which is something I used to not do. The last person I wanted to see was a drug and alcohol counselor in my previous life. And they still welcome me with open arms today. And so after I got out of Northwest Indian Treatment Center in 2009, Wellness kept a real tight grip on me that time around. I had a wonderful counselor that really, had an invested interest in helping me. And then a lot of the group counselors that were more than willing to be there at any time. And a couple of the people I went to group with are actually here. And it's good to see that there's more people than just me doing this, Because sometimes, being an addict, I'll get self-absorbed, I'll get egotistical, I'll get wrapped up in my own thing, and forget that, there's a lot of other people that are going through this same thing right alongside me. And when I'm having a rough day, it's those people that I turn to for help. Whether I have to ask or say anything to them is irrelevant. Just knowing that they're there and going through it is more than enough for me 90% of the time. And so I want to say it was October of 2012, I officially graduated Wellness. I've only been there for like 13 years, so I think I did really, really good. I had literally been enrolled in Wellness for like 13 years. And I was fortunate enough to finally step out on my own, and I didn't really know quite how to handle it, and then the wellness counselors tell you you can always visit, which, realistically, I never thought I would. And now I'm fortunate to be able to go in there and meet with them on a friendship basis, on just a check-in basis on my own. And so we're 3 years removed from that, and they still always welcome me in. They always welcome me into their offices. They always welcome me in to just talk. And that's just a testament of the kind of people we have working there. And so I don't want to take up too much time. I just want to really hold my hands up to the wellness staff and also to the community for showing up, because I've been fortunate to be on this wellness subcommittee And one of the things we've been talking about is getting the community here to, you know, we don't do this enough. You know, when we're all in our partying ways, it's easy to get a 200-person turnout to your party. And it's nice to be able to get a 200-person turnout to a clean and sober event. It's nice to be able to get familiar faces that are standing up for their community and willing to take time out of their lives just to come up and hear some junkie speak. Like that actually means a lot. It's just a great thing, and I love to see the way this community's starting to embrace recovery and really actually mean it and own it and stand up for it. So once again, hold my hands up to every one of you, and we'd like to get some more speakers up here.
Hi, my name is Brenda Bowman. I'm a Squamish tribal member. My grandpa is Alexander Napoleon. My grandma was Bertha Napoleon. My dad, Dwayne Napoleon. And I definitely have a relapse in my story. I started using, getting high with my mom when I was 12 years old. And from then until January of 2012, I just continued to get high until ICW took my daughter away. And I went to inpatient treatment, got out, moved into an Oxford house, and I stayed clean for two and a half years. But in that 2.5 years, I didn't work the steps, I didn't have a sponsor, so, and I stayed in treatment for like a year longer than I was supposed to. They're like, Brenda, you gotta go, you can't stay here any longer. And they gave me a tribal house out here, and I moved out here so I didn't have the support of all the women in Oxford anymore. And so about after 6 months, I ended up relapsing, and by the grace of God, I'm not going to name who it is, but somebody told on me that I was getting high again, and they tried, they more or less did did an intervention on me. They, of course, took my kid away from me again, said, we're going to take the tribal house, you know, if you don't get your crap together. So I got 37 days now. I just got out of Alala. Yeah, I just got out of Lala on the 12th, and things are going really good. I got a sponsor. You know, I'm getting ready to work the steps. Just, you know, jumping in with both feet this time. You know, hope to be involved in the community and maybe like get some clean and sober dances going on out here, and you know, because you got to remember to have fun in recovery too. If there's no fun in recovery, if there's nothing for everybody to do when they walk out the doors of the group, you know, people aren't going to stay clean, you know, so I'm hoping, you know, to maybe, you know, get some support on getting some clean and sober activities going on out here for people to do, like, you know, game nights. You know, everybody loves to play board games and stuff like that. Oh, and I'm also talking in meetings. That's something I never did before. I would just sit and be selfish and take from everybody instead of give back. So when I go to a meeting, I be sure to, you know, speak up and say something. That's all I got.
Thank you, Brenda.
All right, anybody else? Come on, come on.
Hi, my name is Adam Jackson. I'm a Squamish tribal member, and I have a little different story about growing up here. I'm 45 years old. Oliver Jackson's my grandfather. Some of the people that are my age and in my generation sitting in this room remember me. And you know, I had a pretty normal life as a little kid until I got to be about 7 years old, and then a lot of things changed in our family. My grandmother died. You know, addiction took hold in my household, fighting, and lots of violent things started happening to where I was scared all the time. I had very few role models, one of them being my grandfather, and his life was kind of turned upside down at that moment. He really couldn't be there in the capacity that he used to be. My Uncle Henry, Tina's father, was one of the people that I always looked forward to coming to see and being with. and he passed away. Life changed really fast for me, and I wasn't using it at that moment, but I was lonely, and I didn't have the mentors and the people that connected me to my culture there any longer. They were gone, right? And so I started using. My mother would be gone till late in the evening, and she was trying to support us, and I would sneak into the cupboard and get a few beers, or this, or I'd be out in the woods with my friends and we'd have a few drinks. And I started to notice that, hey, it didn't matter now. I wasn't sad anymore. I didn't hurt anymore. That pain was gone. But then things started to change, and I got a little older. And it wasn't just going out in the woods with my friends. We'd go out there for a little while, they'd go home, and then I'd take off. And I'd be down under the bridge. I'd be partying with guys I didn't know down there. All right? And then eventually I started getting in trouble with the law. I was 12 or 13 by this time. Right? And I would be out here and around my families, and I would start to do things like walk in their house and drink their alcohol, take things from them and sell them so that I could get more drugs. And I knew deep down inside at that moment that I was compelled in a different way. I knew I was different, but I didn't know how. I go into my teenage years, and then, I started getting into more trouble. I get felony and lewd. I'm wanted by Kitsap County, so of course I'm out here hiding, right? Because they're not going to get me out here, And then I start burning bridges out here. I'm waking up in the wrong bed. I'm getting in fights with people I shouldn't be getting in fights with. Now people here don't want me in their household, right? So I didn't reach out for help. What I did was I ran. I ran from here and I left. I went across the country. And by the time I was 19 years old, I was in Las Vegas, Nevada, and I had a serious meth habit. It took me 3 to 4 years on the streets of Las Vegas, Nevada, until I was stealing cars, using daily, and I was at High Desert State Prison. I spent some years at High Desert State Prison, and when I was released, I immediately went back to drugs. I got out with $20, and I went back. I ended up living under a bridge. I lived in a box under a bridge for 4 years. I was the guy walking down the street pushing a shopping cart full of stolen copper off the top of buildings. I was pulling wire out of things. I basically crawled out in the middle of the night to steal so I could get more dope, so I could steal some more. And I ran for a while until the prison caught me again, and I was ready to get, and I was going back. It was at that point that I knew I wanted out. I didn't want to be this way anymore. I wanted to reconnect with my culture. I wanted the life that I left behind when I was 9 or 10 years old. I finally set my pipe down. The family gave me an opportunity to sleep on their porch. And I held on. I called here and I said, what resources are there? I called up to Port Madison Enterprises. I called the Higher Education Division. I lined up every single resource that I could find so that I would have the opportunity to stay clean. That's really my testimony, and that's where it changed because of this community. There was many times I got out for the last 6, 7, 8 years that I was using. I knew I didn't want to go to prison anymore. I knew I didn't want to run. I knew I didn't like where I was, but I didn't have a way out. There was no way out. Right? And what this community did for me was it gave me the resources that I needed to get back on my feet. It gave me support that I needed to get back on my feet. It gave me the ability to go to school. It gave me resources. And, it was an amazing opportunity that I'm so thankful I had. I entered into Olympic College, and this is really where my story turned out to be good. I entered into Olympic College under the Higher Education program. I went there, I got my degree in chemical dependency, I got my CEPT, I'm now a counselor at Agape Unlimited, but the people that got me started was wellness. I did my practicum at wellness because there seemed to be a divide that I didn't understand. There was a divide between community and between treatment, and they taught me a lot of things, and they taught me a lot of things about confidentiality, and they taught me a lot of things about support and how to support people. And all I can say is that they're an amazing group of people. If you're the kind of person that's sitting right now and you're saying to yourself, I don't like where I'm at, I don't want to do this anymore, I don't want to feel this way anymore, go see Wellness, talk to Wellness. Even if you're not a client, you can walk into the front door of Wellness and they will respect your confidentiality. If there's some ugly things or some things you've done that you want to talk about, you need to let somebody know and not say, I want a way out. You can go to these people and they're going to give you that support. That's why it's so important to have a team and a treatment committee that you can go to and know that no matter what I say inside these doors and no matter what I do, they are going to respect me and they are going to make that personal. Like Sammy was saying, they support their clients, and at their core, they care about the clients most. You know, I'm grateful that I had the privilege to work with them and that I get a chance to be on the treatment committee. I'm going to hand this over to some guys because I want to give everybody a chance to talk. But thank you all, and whoever's next.